Have you ever felt like your life isn't really yours? That every step you take, every choice you make somehow belongs to someone else? Family expectations, friends' demands, even strangers who pass through your world rewriting your priorities without asking for permission. I once met a man, nearly 70 years old. For decades, he carried not only his own responsibilities, but also the weight of siblings, relatives, and anyone who leaned on him. They called him the pillar of the family, the rescuer. But when his strength finally faded, he realized something painful. He had never lived even a single day for himself. That is the silent tragedy Stoic philosophy warned us about thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius once asked, "You have one life, just one, but how many times have you lived it as if it belonged to others?" And so today we need to talk about it. The 5 requests you must learn to say no to. If you don't, you will lose the most precious thing you own, your peace. Stay with me until the end, because these 5 truths could change the way you guard your soul forever. And if you're new here, welcome to the Stoic Habit. Join us, subscribe, and let's walk this journey of inner strength together. Part 1. The burdens that are not yours. Imagine this. You help a close friend with a small problem. Just one time. It feels good. You've been kind. You've been helpful. But then, the next time, they ask again. And the time after that, it's no longer a request. It's an expectation. Soon, it isn't just your friend. Their family begins to assume that you will step in, that you will always be the one to rescue, to fix, to carry. And one day you wake up, look around, and realize you've become an unpaid employee in someone else's life story. Seneca once warned us in his letters, "We are not born to carry the mistakes of others, but to cultivate the virtue within ourselves." Those words cut deep. Because here's the truth, the more weight you carry for others, the further you drift from your own life. But why do we fall into this trap so easily? Because we confuse caring with carrying. We think that love means sacrifice without limits, that compassion means abandoning ourselves. But Epictetus reminds us, what is in your control is your choice, not the outcome of another's life. Let me give you a real story. A young woman I once knew, barely in her 20s, carried the debt of her older brother every single month. She worked 2 jobs, day and night. She gave up her dream of studying abroad. She thought loyalty meant silence, that saying no would make her heartless. But after years of sacrifice, the debt was still there, while her youth, her health, her chance to live her own story was gone forever. And here's the harsh reality. When you become the one who always carries, people stop seeing it as kindness. They see it as your role. And when you finally try to step back, guilt becomes the chain that binds you. You must remember this. You can care, but you cannot carry. You can love, but you cannot live for someone else. The burdens that are not yours, if you continue to shoulder them, will crush not just your time, not just your energy, but your very sense of self. Saying no does not make you cold. It makes you free. It gives you back the life that was always meant to be yours. Part 2. When money becomes a chain. There is a silence that follows when someone you care about asks you for money. It is not the silence of peace. It is the silence of pressure, of guilt, of unspoken obligation. They might say, "You're my brother, my friend, my family. You have to help." But do you? Seneca once warned us that money can corrupt not only friendships, but even character itself. Because the truth is, when money enters the picture, it's rarely just about numbers. It becomes a symbol of your years of sacrifice, of your security, of the peace you've earned. And once that peace is disturbed, it doesn't matter how much you gave, the cost is always greater than the sum. Here's the trap. When people ask for money, it's often not about survival. It's about escaping the consequences of their own choices. And if you pay for their mistakes, you are not rescuing them, you are training them. You are teaching them that you will always absorb the fallout of their decisions. And when you finally say, no, suddenly the story flips. Now you are the selfish one. You are the heartless one. Let me tell you a story. An older man, after decades of hard work, had saved enough to retire with dignity. His son often came to him with new business ideas, each one labeled as a sure thing. Out of love, the father gave and gave again, but after years of losses, the savings were gone. And when the father finally said, no more, the son didn't thank him for the sacrifices. Instead, he accused him of being cold, of not believing in him. The father lost not only his security, but the bond with his own child. So what does Stoicism teach us here? It reminds us that generosity without wisdom is not kindness, it is self-erasure. Protecting your financial boundaries is not greed, it is strength. It is the wisdom to say, I will not allow your mistakes to consume the life I've built. Remember this, you've already given enough years of effort, years of labor, years of sacrifice. You've earned the right to say no, because every dollar you protect is not just money, it is your time, your freedom, your peace. Part 3. When family turns you into the referee. Family conflict has a strange gravity. It pulls you in even when you try to stay out. You hear it in the words, please, talk to him for me. Dad, can you fix things with her? Suddenly, without asking, you've been drafted as the referee in a game you never wanted to play. At first, it feels noble. You think, keeping the peace is the right thing to do. But soon, you realize the truth. The referee always takes the blame. If you side with one, the other grows resentful. If you try to stand in the middle, both accuse you of not caring enough. And while they continue their battles, you are the one losing energy, sleep, and peace. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if it is not in your control, it cannot harm you. Yet how often do we let family drag us into storms that were never ours? We burn ourselves out trying to solve fights that were never meant to be solved by us. Let me share a story. Two brothers fought bitterly over their parents' home. The house was sacred to the mother, a place of memories, of love. But to the sons, it became a battlefield of entitlement. They demanded that their father step in, choose a side, settle the war. The father tried, over and over, but every word only deepened the division. In the end, the house was not just divided, the family itself shattered. And the father? He was left carrying a guilt that was never his to bear. So what is the Stoic answer? It is this: some battles are not yours. Being the peacemaker may sound virtuous, but if it drains your soul, it is not virtue, it is surrender. Your role is not to be collateral damage in other people's wars. Your role is to guard your own peace, your own spirit. You can love your family deeply, but love does not mean you must be the shield they throw their weapons against. Remember, your emotional energy is precious. Spend it on healing, on joy, on becoming whole, not on conflicts that refuse to heal themselves. When family tries to make you the referee, you have the right to step back, to say, this is not mine to carry. Part 4. When someone asks you to change who you are. There is a quiet kind of violence in life. It doesn't come with shouting or fists. It comes in whispers like, don't wear that. Stop talking like that. You should be more like this. At first, it sounds harmless, just advice, just opinions. But beneath those words is a message far more dangerous. Stop being you. Think about it. You have spent decades shaping who you are. Through joy and heartbreak, through mistakes and victories. Every wrinkle on your face, every habit you keep, every song you love carries the weight of your story. And now someone dares to say it's outdated, inconvenient, that you need to edit yourself to fit into their comfort zone. Let me tell you about a woman I once met. She was in her 60s, graceful, vibrant, still dressing in the traditional clothes she adored and listening to the music of her youth. Her friends laughed. Her children told her to modernize. She tried, for a time, just to please them, but with every change, she felt herself fading. One day, Staring into the mirror, she confessed, "I don't recognize the woman looking back at me." So what happens when you trade authenticity for approval? You lose your soul piece by piece, and once you start chipping away, it never stops. Epictetus reminded us, true freedom is to be faithful to your own nature. You are not a trend to be edited. You are not a blank canvas for others to rewrite. The truth is simple. Saying no to those who demand you change is not stubbornness, it is survival. Because the moment you erase yourself for someone else's comfort, you will wake up one day as a stranger in your own life. Remember this: you are not difficult, you are not rigid, you are rooted. You are the living result of everything you've endured and everything you've loved. Never trade your authenticity for someone else's ease, because once you abandon yourself, no amount of approval will ever be enough to fill that void. Part 5. When others demand their emotions come before yours. There is a subtle form of control, one that doesn't raise its voice, but whispers through guilt. It sounds like, "If you really loved me, you would do this. Please, don't make me feel uncomfortable." At first, it feels like love, like compromise, but look closer. What they are really saying is, "Your happiness must shrink so mine can expand." This is not love, this is control, and it is the most invisible form of exploitation. Let me share a story. A man I once knew loved to paint. His art was his escape, his joy. But his partner told him, "When you paint, I feel left out. It makes me lonely." At first, he stopped only on weekends, then he stopped in the evenings. Finally, he put the brushes away entirely. Years later, the debt was still unpaid. The loneliness was still there, but his joy, his passion, his very spirit had withered. And here's the cruel truth. When you bend your life to protect someone else's emotions, you don't save them, you only erase yourself. The Stoics warned us long ago. Seneca wrote that a truly free person is not enslaved by the fears or moods of another, because the moment you allow their emotions to dictate your choices, you surrender your freedom. You become an actor in their play, a shadow in their script. Remember, peace is not found in constant sacrifice, not when it erases your joy, not when it silences your voice. The years ahead of you are meant for alignment, not appeasement. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to live out loud, to chase your dreams, to feel deeply, to choose paths that bring you alive, even if someone else calls it inconvenient. And here is the heart of it. When someone demands that their comfort must always come before your truth, they are not protecting love, they are suffocating it. So protect your peace. Because peace is the most valuable thing you own, and once given away, it is the hardest thing to reclaim. Conclusion. These 5 requests: carrying others' burdens, reckless loans, becoming the family referee, changing who you are, and prioritizing others' emotions over your own, all steal the same treasure, your peace. And peace, once lost, is the hardest to reclaim. Marcus Aurelius warned us, "A thief of wealth can be punished, but a thief of your soul, welcomed by your own consent, no one can save you from." From today, choose no with courage. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is wisdom, it is freedom, it is the Stoic path. Share your story below, and to commit to this journey, comment just one word: intact. And if this message resonated, subscribe not for me, but for us, because this Stoic path is never walked alone.